Live streaming is on.
So they won't come. Look at your stuff. You saying disable everyone's camera. Okay, Grace. Good morning. Can you hear me
Good
now?
morning. Yeah, I can hear you. Good morning.
Okay, good. Nice to have you here.
Africunia TV.
Okay.
Africunia TV. Africunia TV.
Grace, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
So please go back to tell. Peter, please, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning. So sorry. I'm trying to give one of our guest speakers some few minutes. She will be on. So I am waiting for her. Please, please, please do well to share the link so you can have your friends and families coming to listen to you and watch you while you speak, please.
Yeah, do that now.
Please do well to share the link. Peter, please, can you please put your face up on? Okay, thank you very much. Just share the link so we can have more people coming. So when we know, we'll know that yes, people are up and people are in. So, permission, please, to quickly go and share the link and come back. Then we'll start. Immediately I share the link and I'm back, then we'll start off.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. We're live already. So, I think we're live already, and right now we have to start. We have to start. So, for every family or friends that want to join in, don't mind, I have my book. I'm always a writer. Please do well to let them join in. Just share the link. So, hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Udoka Ikebua Anita, convener, Pat a Girl Foundation. Pat a Girl Foundation has its vision and purpose to getting sanitary pads, sanitary tampons, menstrual cups accessible and available to every girl child in the rural area of Nigeria. We not just give these young girls sanitary pads or products, we also teach them the process of making the reusable sanitary pads for sustainability. We also, what we're trying to do is to fight basically period poverty. Now, since the inception of Girl Foundation, we have practically been to 4 states, spreading the words on the importance of good menstrual hygiene. Once more, I am a graduate of counseling psychology from the Delta State University, Nigeria. So this year, 2021, we decided to celebrate World Menstrual Hygiene Day, first of all, by having a Menstrual Hygiene Day period poverty awareness walk. And now to still move ahead to celebrate Menstrual Hygiene Day 2021, we're having an awesome webinar. And in order to have this webinar, I had to bring out beautiful resource persons that not just only have an insight on what period poverty is all about, but have had, what's it called, other means to reach out to people in slum areas, not just in Nigeria, but across the world. So basically, we are starting live, and I have to introduce my wonderful, amazing speakers. So, Mrs. Mandolin Wilker, I have to read her profile so we all know who she is. Mrs. Mandolin Winkler is from Switzerland, an unflinching defender of, sorry, I have to look at her because she's beautiful this morning, an unflinching defender of global children, an ambassador and founder of Sorcery Bands International. Sorcery Band is a foundation, a non-governmental foundation in Switzerland, and also an extension to the sub-Sahara African countries like the Central African Republic, that's beautiful. We have her reach of sorcery bands in Congo, Cameroon, Senegal, and a boarding foundation in Nigeria. Mrs. Mandolin Winkler, I like to pronounce it well, is currently serving as the Executive Secretary of Africunia Band and the Vice Chair Africa and the Vice Chair of Africa International Human Rights Commissions, right? Don't mind me. She has also served in diverse executive positions, but to mention a few, a director at Reebok Switzerland, later bought by Adidas. Wow, that's beautiful. Also, the financial department for National Business Partner for Voilor Limited. Now, I also know on my own part, she also owns a very big agriculture sector in Nigeria, also known as the Agricunia, right? Yes, in Nigeria. So please help me meet and let's give a round of applause for Mrs. Mandolin Wilper. Let's have you here. So also with me today is my beautiful Grace Chima Joshua. She's a graduate from the Department of Mass Communication from the University of Nnamdi Azikiwe Oka, a social media strategist, a blogger, a content creator, and a menstrual hygiene enthusiast. Please, Grace, nice to have you here.
Yes,
Good morning, darling.
I'm happy to be here. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Morning. And today we also have Peter. His name is always so difficult for me to pronounce. So, Peter, please forgive me. Peter Mandalisian, all the way from Malawi. He's a graduate of public health, the founder of 10 plus her period, her pride project Malawi, an advocate for gender equality amongst girls and women. Peter, nice having you here this morning. Good morning.
Morning, thanks.
Yes, and finally I have here Mrs. Olivia Onyemobi. Yeah, she's a skilled advocate of girls and women rights, a menstrual hygiene manager, and a reproductive health manager in Nigeria. She's the founder and the CEO of Pad Org Creation Limited, a social company that uses to manufacture the washables slash the reusable sanitary pads. Their product is Nigeria first certified reusable sanitary pads. Wow, that's wonderful. And won the 2021 African Quality Achievement Award for reusable sanitary pads. Wow, beautiful. She studied business and entrepreneurship at the Notre Dame, Indiana, and also have her MSc in business administration. And currently, she is running her PhD programs. I admire you. It's important to note that she has a lot of outstanding awards, one of which she has the Woman of the Year award by Radiant Health magazine. She has the Mandela Washington Fellow Award 2018, and amongst many others, the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Award 2020. No, sorry, 2016. Don't mind me, I'm bringing her down to 2021. Nice to have you here, ma'am. Good morning.
It's my pleasure being here.
Good morning. Good morning. Sorry, just to let us know that this event is being live streamed on YouTube. So basically, we might just be four in the room. So you feel comfortable and speak. We have other people viewing us from the YouTube page. So we know that we are not just alone. So thank you very much. Right now, I have to start off because we have actually taken so many time off. And to kickstart this program, we're having a Mrs. She's off. Please, can she come up? We have video and her speaker on, please. Mrs. Onyem Mobi, please, you're going to be our first speaker for us this morning. Sure. Where did she go to? Okay. No, while we wait for her to come back on, I don't know where. Mrs. Olivia.
Yes, I'm on.
Oh, okay, please. Please, I want you. You also will see your beautiful.
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Okay, so I just have to let the world know this morning that I met her through social media, and when I saw her work and everything she does, I was like, okay, this is one woman I have to connect with, I have to meet with, I need to discuss with. So to celebrate World Menstrual Hygiene Day, we are trying to what's called disrupt. When I use the word disrupt, we're trying to remove the normal. Oh, please, can we all come on? Thank you. We're trying to take out the stigma, the normal beliefs on period poverty. We're trying to disrupt it to know how we can upgrade, destroy the norm to which people have to under period poverty and understand what period poverty is all about, how we can break the barriers on girl child being able to speak out, how we can get sanitary pads out there and all that. So you have started part of creation, I think in the northern part of Nigeria, and I know it's not one thing, it's not easy to start. So I will give you the floor to speak and educate us on everything you know concerning poverty. What was your drive to start to, and everything you know and you have dealt on when it comes to period poverty, please.
Hi, everyone. I didn't know I'm going to be the first speaker. Um, okay, so I'm so excited being here. I like talking about I like talking about girls and women because I usually describe women as door. We are like a door. So anything can come through us. If you can bet a child, it means that you could give way to anything in life. So we experience a lot of challenges as women. Would you mind if I still share my screen? I didn't want to share a screen, but
It's okay.
you're really pushing me to share a screen.
It's okay.
Okay, so in 2015, I remembered I had sexual abuse experiences as a teenager. So
Wow.
I started looking at how to solve the menstrual hygiene challenge that girls are facing, because I discovered that a lot of them were suffering. Why they are not having access to sanitary pads, they are actually getting sexually abused by their teachers, their cousins, their neighbors. So with the experiences I had, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can. Please go on.
So as a teenager, the experiences I heard pushed me to think of how to create a sustainable solution for these girls. At that time, we were always having stories on the internet, on the newspapers, showing that a lot of girls were actually suffering sexual abuse. So I started thinking on how to create a sustainable solution to the problem that the girls were facing, and that was how I started Paddock Creations. Okay, so I'm
Okay.
having a little challenge
Um,
trying to share my screen.
well, we can see you here.
Okay, so in 2015, when I discovered that a lot of girls were actually suffering sexual abuse, and most of them, their parents didn't really know that, they had those experiences. I started going to schools, administering therapies on sexually abused girls to help them overcome sexual trauma. 3 months later, we returned back to these schools to follow up on these girls. We found out that most of them were returning back to this men um, that abused them sexually. So that was how
Wow.
we started asking them, why do you have to return back to this men that abuse you? So some of them said their parents weren't providing them with access to sanitary pads. So if their teachers could provide them with sanitary pads, it's really better for them to take the sanitary pads, because they do not want to be bullied when their improvised materials fall off or even stain them. So I started making research
Okay.
from 2015 to 2016, trying to create a solution that would be more sustainable. If I had given them disposable sanitary pads at that time, I would solve their problem for just once in a whole month. And then at that time, my salaries would not be enough to keep sustaining the idea. So that was how I started making the reusable sanitary pads to create a sustainable solution to this girl. So we discovered that poverty is one of the major challenges that make a lot of girls get exposed to sexual abuse. And because most of these families are poor, their parents can't afford to provide them with sanitary pads on monthly basis. So on this picture with me is Amina, and I met her in Adamawa when I went for a rehabilitation program in Adamawa. We found out that she dropped out of school. If I tell you her age, you scream, because she's looking way older than her age. So she accepted sanitary pads from a teacher who she exchanged with sex. And unfortunately for her, she got pregnant, and on getting pregnant, she was forced to marry the teacher, and that's how she has two kids. I met her in 2018 when I went to Adamawa for a rehabilitation program. So in Nigeria, according to National Bureau of Statistics, over 100 million people live below $1 per day. And this makes it difficult for those families to even provide their girls with access to sanitary pads, because they can't even afford to provide them with good meal. So most of these girls use dry grasses, leaves, feathers, so many things that we could imagine. And sometimes these things fall off or even stain them, exposing them to bullying at school. And some of them too, which are unhygienic, expose them to infections. So we created the reusable sanitary pads as a sustainable solution for them. The pads will have minimum reusable period of 1 year and maximum of 3 years. So we took into consideration all the problems that we know by the things that these girls were facing. The first is that it must be leak proof. So it doesn't have to stain them. It doesn't have to be just a pad, but it has to also protect them from getting stained. And it has to have good absorbency. It has to have something that holds it on the pants that prevents it from falling off, and it has to be breathable. A lot of people who use sanitary pads complain that they get rashes because the pads are not breathable. They are lined with polythene. So for 4 days, you will have your period and you will not have air going into your system for 4 good days. And so we had to make the pads to be breathable to allow air to go into the system. And then in the course of doing this, we realized that most of these girls do not also have access to underwears. So we had to start making the panties that they would use. We make panty liners, we make sanitary wipes, we make padded pants, so they do not need to look for pants or pads at the same time. So this has been a sustainable solution for the girls. With that, over 2.5 million sold across 16 African countries. We've been able to put smiles on the faces of these girls.
Wow.
So to solve this problem, we,
Wow.
we realized that we need a visionary team that understand what we are talking about. So we needed to bridge a lot of gap and change some narratives. So we started by changing the narrative of the dress code of the staff that work with us. We wanted them to think like as though they are working in a corporate organization. So that will make them feel more committed to the job that they do. Some of the women, we have a lot of inequalities. If we are producing the products for girls and women, we also must put into consideration women also doing the job. So, but you find out that most women do not get access to jobs because most employers do not want to grant them maternity or childcare leave. So we had to create a nanny room where mothers can take care of their children while they are still working. So that will also give a better opportunity for women to do the job with us. And so a lot of employers will place high criteria, demanding several years of experience, making it difficult for most of these people to look for to get access to job. So we solve the skill gap problems by advertising for unskilled workers. So when we get people, we just want to see your commitment to the job. We just want to see that you are excited about the solution that we create. And so we use design thinking to solve the problems of skill gap. So we give them practical experiences where you can see on this picture, you have just one person trying to drag about 6 people, and you find out that without teamwork, it becomes difficult for you to become successful on your job. So we use design thinking to be able to solve the problems of skill gap. And so we were able to grow these people from 8 in number to 103 people currently working with us, and they are permanent staff. So in the last few years, we've been able to create 103 permanent jobs. We have been able to distribute over 2.5 million, over 400,000 girls educated on reproductive health, over 17,000, about 17,130 micro sales points. So the women who sell these products and in piecemeal also earn a living from the sales that they make. We have distribution across 16 African countries. Over 1 million girls have returned to school with this access to sanitary pads. It has improved hygiene. Over 15 awards won, including the African Quality Achievement Award. And we became the first Nigerian certified reusable sanitary pads. In doing this, we realized that we are more of a
Yeah.
secular company. So we have a lot of waste that are generated every day from our production, and we needed to create a solution to the waste. We don't need to just dump this waste in the dustbin. So we created another company that we called Comp Innovations. Instead of sorting our waste this way, we just made a sign on the wall. So if you have a waste, it could either be A, B, or C. You put the waste appropriately where it's supposed to be. And what we did was to turn our waste into home furnitures. You could see these home decors. All these were made from our waste for home decors. This bed that you can see was made from our waste, including the pillows on the bed were made from our waste. This is a happy customer that walked in to buy the waste turned into home furniture. And you could also see part of our waste are turned into educational materials. You could see the fish, the
Okay,
colors,
can you
the
please,
toys, the alphabet, I mean, whatever you can imagine can be created. We also create rest pillows for homes. So with this,
can
we
you
are more like with this, we are more like
hello, can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you.
Okay, please, can you please change the slide? Hello?
Yeah, what did you say?
No, as I wanted to, can you please change the slide so we can see what you're showing us?
Oh,
Yeah, oh, it's okay.
so I'm trying to get what you're saying. Um, so what did you say?
The slide, like I want you to show, change the slide, show us the image of what you made from the waste product you tried saving up. Because we were not seeing the pillows, the happy customers. Wanted to know if you could just change the slide.
Okay.
Yes. So we can see the happy customer's face and all that.
I don't know what problem I'm having. I'm sorry, I just gotta get that now.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Okay, so you wanted to see the customer?
The happy customer, yes. And the pillows and all that. Yeah, maybe she can.
So can you see that?
No, we still can't. We see the first slide.
Oh, you can see the first slide, but you can't see this.
Yes, we can.
Can you see it now?
We still can't.
Oh, so I don't know what the problem is.
Okay. I will ask you for the file. Maybe I'll send my email. You just send me the images and the file so we can incorporate it. So please go on.
Okay, so you can see my screen now, right?
Yes. We can see your screen, but we can't see the different slides for that. So maybe
Oh, you
click
can't see different
on the left
slides.
side.
You can only see the
No, we
home,
can't.
the first slide.
The first
Yes,
slide,
yes.
the File Operation Limited and the
Oh my
sustainability,
goodness, are you
sustainable science.
serious? Wow.
Yes,
So
yes,
that's really I don't know. Possibly I could just use this and say maybe I don't know what's wrong, but I might likely just have to send it to you.
Okay, please. I'll send you my email so you send it to me.
So now you can't see any of, you can only see my first slide. Can you see this now?
Oh yes, we can see this one.
Okay, can you see this?
Yes, we can.
Oh, it means I've been talking to myself all this while. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
So you didn't get to see Amina's face when I was talking about her?
we saw it at the smaller parts, but now we can see it bigger.
Okay, so can you see it now?
Now it's bigger. Yes, you
Okay.
can. And maybe you can make full screen, so that would be nice.
Okay, so these are some of the girls, and these are some of the workers I was talking about, and this was the little room we created for the nanny room, and these are some of the people I talked about
Okay.
skill gap, and I said we use design thinking to solve the challenge of skill gap, and we're able to get move from 8 people to 103 people that are permanently working with us. And I talked about the
That's
awards
beautiful.
and the impact that we've got so
Well,
far.
yeah.
I talked about the waste that we've generated all this while and how we
Yeah.
resolved to sort our wastes. So can you see the furnitures?
Yes, we can. The pillows, the chairs, the bed.
Yes, the
We
beds,
can.
yes, yes. So we also created educational materials. So all of these we are intentional. um we realize that so many schools, some of the preschool teachers find it difficult to communicate to this to preschool children, and so the best solution that we had was to create materials to support these teachers in the course of their teaching, so they could easily say this is a dog, this is a carrot, this is a fish, this is one two three, and from there we're able to also create additional 8 jobs, and we're also able to create another stream of income, but really not coming to us, but we created it as a company. So there, there are lots of problems when you talk about entrepreneurship. There are lots of problems, that could stop African entrepreneurs from doing that. I know a lot of people who want to go into this, but you find out that a lot of people, especially in Nigeria, you have to generate your own power. You have to create your own security. You need to pay your own tax. You need to get delayed in certification and all that. But I believe that there are 4 things I talk about. I say that passion is not good enough to keep you going. For you to become successful, you need compassion. There are people who will tell you that I'm passionate about this, I want to make this change. Passion fails you when there is no profit. Compassion keeps you going when passion fails you. Now, if I look at the faces of most of these girls that we've supported by providing them with sanitary pads, I look at a lot of faces of women who could not manage their period, especially in the IDP camps, or the women who we support through the sales that they make. I just don't want to give up. Several times I've had challenges that will make me say, I'm not going to do this again. But I look at these faces and I keep going. So passion might likely fail you when there's no profit. And that's why people start businesses. In 2 years, they give up. They begin to count their losses. But when you look at the faces of the people, even if you're whatever solution that you're creating, it could be advocacy, and you look at the training that you're making, and the impact it's making in the lives of people, you find out that you just don't have any option than to keep going. So when you talk about period poverty in Africa, it's a general thing. It's not just only in Nigeria. It's general. Period poverty is not just only in Africa. It's everywhere. But I think with more community-based organizations and NGOs coming up and speaking up about period poverty, it's helping to create a lot of relief to the system. For instance, for years we've been fighting that the tax, value added tax on sanitary pads should be scrapped in Nigeria. And I remember distributing so let me not mention African names, but I remember distributing to some African countries, and you find out that these girls will have to pay 17% on sanitary pads. That makes it so high. So I remember our advocacy
But I
trying to scrap
sorry to
value added tax on sanitary pads, and it was done. There's a big relief because I do not need to buy sanitary pads and then I'll come and pay for the value that I generate on from it. So period poverty, it's everywhere, and so many people think that it's only in northern Nigeria. If I'm using the Nigerian context, no,
sorry, I want to ask you something.
everywhere,
Can you hear me?
everywhere, you
Can you
definitely
hear
get
me?
you can
Can
hear
you hear
me?
me? Yes, I can hear you. I
Beautiful,
wanted
I
to ask.
can.
Okay, I read something somewhere on value added tax because our time will soon be over. I read somewhere on value added tax that Nigerians don't pay value added tax for locally manufactured sanitary pads. So do you pay VAT? Do you pay value added tax for producing this reusable sanitary pads?
Okay, so we pay impute tax, we pay impute VAT when we buy our raw materials. We have to pay impute if they are the raw materials that we're sourcing from Nigeria, we need to pay the impute tax. But for the customers that buy the sanitary pads from us, they don't pay value added tax. So on the 1st of February 2020, the value added tax was removed from all sanitary pads in Nigeria. So that's a plus to us. It
So
has somehow, yes, it has been scrapped now.
okay, thank you very much. So I have basically one major question to ask.
Okay.
How do we now, because I know that you've been in the northern Nigeria, I don't want to say period poverty is high there, but now going forward, how do we in Nigeria now disrupt this level because the prices of sanitary pads is going too high for all these girls? How do we now disrupt period poverty coming from not just the northern part of Nigeria, but to every other part of Nigeria, including the reusable sanitary pads, how to get it acceptable by all these people outside and within Nigeria?
So I think that most of the work will still have to lie with the NGOs and the community-based organizations. Nigeria, you and I are in Nigeria, so we know the system, we know what's obtainable. We can't say we have to rely on the government. In fact, it has gotten to the level where you don't even speak when you know what to say. So, but community-based organizations and the media can accelerate the voices of people who are speaking about ending period poverty. Recently, we started making investments in schools where we would need to deposit pad dispensers. So we started a pilot yesterday where we went to a school and we found out that we actually have a mission to put pad dispensers in school. Like you're in school and you find out that your period just started unannounced, you could just go to the dispenser and get access to sanitary pads. But you know that our values are still wrong. So you have girls who are cleaning up to go and take more than what they need. We said we want to stop you from being bullied at school. So your period just started, you're going to spend about 6 to 8 hours in school. You get access to these sanitary pads for the period you are in school. When you get home, we believe that there should also be a solution for you at home because you have parents or guidance. But for the period you're in school, just get access to the sanitary pads so you don't get stained that will result to bullying at school. It's a holistic approach that we have to use. We have to talk about our value system. We have to use the media. We have to use the community-based organizations, creating awareness on the importance of this. Let me tell you this. So many Nigerians still do not believe that it's important to solve period poverty. So many Nigerians don't believe. In fact, I know one of a major NGO that is using the social media to drive donations, and people keep telling them that why should I buy sanitary pads for girls? You know, most of these girls did not beg to be girls. They didn't beg to be
Yeah.
girls. They didn't beg to be girls. I've been to some schools where some of the girls will tell you, "How I wish I'm a boy," and then you'll
I
be
tell
wondering,
you.
what's happening to our generation? These are people who don't appreciate who they are. How do you expect their self-esteem, their dignity to to be that of a woman? So it's a holistic problem that we have to give a holistic approach in solving it. You and I have to keep raising our voices to make sure that the appropriate authority, I'm not saying the government, the NGO have to do something, you have to do something. I have to do more than what I'm doing. But if we collectively join hands, we could solve this problem. So I think that would be better.
Thank you. Thank you. It was really beautiful. I have to run to our next speaker, which is our next speaker right here.
I think there's network challenge.
Mrs. Mendel. Thank you. Introduced myself to you, and you were like, "Oh, this is what you do. It's beautiful and all that." Okay, whenever you come to Lagos, let me meet you and then we'll talk further and the experience so far worldwide, from Switzerland down to Central Africa to Congo to Cameroon, your experiences towards this girl child, how you've helped to build them, how you've helped to cover them, because we still have to understand this.
We make it short because I think we lost so much time. Yes, our international NGO is more focused on children, especially street children and ex-child soldiers. And in these ex-child soldiers, we have also girls. As we know, the girls are, like she already mentioned very well, the abused one, but not only the girls, also the boys. So me, I don't make, or let's say with our NGO, we don't make so much difference between boy and girls, because the problem when it comes to war, when it comes to poverty, is similar.
Okay.
Yeah, a poor boy or a poor girl will have, yeah, it doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl. That's why I say, of course, we are here now for the girls.
Yeah.
So in the countries we worked, especially in Central African Republic, which is hardly Congo as well. Yes, and it's really difficult to take them away because they're earning, for them, they think they earn easy money, not knowing how they destroy themselves. And most of the girls, we capture them when they are completely destroyed. I mean,
down there,
yes,
their
yes,
uterus, the vagina.
yes. Maybe when they need as an organization. That's why I was somehow interested because you cap with your organization the problem in an early stage, in a stage where a child doesn't, mm, let's say, is not as far that probably the girl has already been abused.
Yeah.
And that's a wonderful
Experience.
a wonderful experience to me, and also to come in with something simple, but something so significant that can change the world, or let's say that week of menstruation of a girl for 300%, right? And that fact with this reusable sanitary pad is a wonderful story. I mean, what we saw just from her and what I saw since we partner with your organization, it's amazing, and I'm thinking about how to go further. Yeah. Yes. And maybe also we can also speak with her how to do it in a way that is easy also for the southeastern part, or from Nigeria, not only in the north.
To get it down this way, even down to Lagos and other parts of Nigeria. Okay, definitely.
Exactly. But when it comes to girls, I always told you I go more in, or let's say our organization go more into deeper problems, right? That is sexual abuse, that is holding them as sex slaves, especially when they get disrupt from criminals in the war, because we are focused on war countries, right, and war victims, and this is always the children, girls or boys.
Yeah.
So that is what we do, and that is what.
So basically, now you're now coming into the menstruators world.
Exactly.
Nice having you here.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
thank you very much. We'll definitely come back to you. So I want to run, because of our time. Hey guys, please can we come back with our videos all on? So because of our time, like our first speaker, Mrs. Olivia said, we as NGOs, we have to do the work. Social media has to do the work. Organizations have to come together to say, okay, this is it. Let's really do this, because we are women. And the fact remains, we didn't ask to bleed, but we have to do that. And in getting this work together, I had to get a social media strategist, one who is also a blogger, and she has been dealing with these issues a long time. She knows how to use the social media work. She's a writer and that's Grace Chima Joshua. Nice meeting you here, darling. Funny enough, she also works for a reusable company, the
Virtuous pads.
Very much. So Grace, this morning, I would like you to please tell us how we can use the social media, we can use blogging, we can use writing to solve this issue of period poverty and get these basic necessities to the girl child down there. And also you have to tell us your experience, because you told me you have also used the reusable sanitary pads. So you have to tell us your experience using it. So please.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm excited about sharing my experiences and my journey with the whole and disrupting period poverty in the 21st century. So, period poverty is something that, just like Mrs. Olivia said, is something that has been there and is still there. Like, a lot of people are facing the challenge of access to period products, and people have challenges with menstrual hygiene management too. So, when right from time, I've always been using disposable pads for a very long time, like uh, when I started my period and all. So, there was this issue of lack of menstrual hygiene education that I experienced, because sometimes some parts producers come to our school when I was in secondary school, and they get to tell us about um, pads and how to use the pads and all of that. But there was not really education on how to take care of take care of yourself during your period and all of that. So that was like a challenge. But most times people don't really talk about that because there's still this stigma with menstruation. So it's like, okay, we're talking about a dirty topic, so let's just be conscious of what we're saying. But as I grew older, I started to make research about menstrual hygiene management, and then that's when I got to know about period poverty. Then when I got to know about period poverty, I started to make more research on it. I realized that there's lack of access of menstrual products. There is no accessibility. While another challenge is affordability, because it's so
Yeah.
expensive. People don't really have the money to purchase sanitary products during their period, so they go ahead and use different kind of stuff that you'll be surprised that people actually use those kind of stuff for their period. So before prior to then, I used to use disposable pads, and I buy pads on like every month. So it was really cost effect. It was really expensive for me. Sorry, it was really expensive, and I couldn't keep up, to be honest. So there was this particular day, my sister told me about a reusable pads. That first of all, I was like, reusable pads. I don't get. Is it like the normal disposable pads that you wash and all of that? And she was like, no, this is a reusable pads that you could use and wash and use again. So I started making my research about it, and I got to realize that it's actually a sustainable solution to end period poverty. So I started working with Purchase Pads, it's a brand, and I got to know more about how reusable pads is one of the most effective and sustainable way to end period poverty. So I started using my platform, which is social media, working with this brand to educate people to know more about period poverty and how to support, because most people feel just like Mrs. Olivia said, most people feel that why would I need to contribute to buy pads for girls? I mean, like, they can afford it, but there are lots of girls, not even only in the north, like many places in Nigeria that I know about, that using parts is really by buying parts is really expensive for them. Like, you see some people even use disposable parts again, like they use it and then they use it again, they wash it, and it's just terrible. So yeah, it's not really hygienic, but there's nothing they can do at that time because they don't have access to the product, and they don't have money to get a period product. So I started using my platform to educate people on reusable pads. Since many people don't really know that reusable pad existed, I started talking about reusable pads, the benefits of using reusable pads, and how sustainable it is, biodegradable, it's eco-friendly, and all of that. So that was like a great way for me to communicate with people, to tell them about reusable pads, and also educate them about ending period poverty in the little way that they can. Because the best thing that we can do as individuals, regardless of our field or our profession, is to sensitize. We have to let people know that there's something called period poverty, and everybody has a role to play in ending period poverty. So that is something that we should look at, and we should also find more ways to reach out to more people. So that's exactly what I've been doing with my platform by working with virtual parts. Also, I attend outreaches where we educate young girls on how to take care of themselves during their period, how to calculate their period so that they won't have any surprises or anything that could lead to bullying or embarrassment and all of that. So I got to realize that most of these girls don't even know how to calculate their period. So they don't even know how many, they don't know their cycle dates and all of that. So I like teach them on how to do all of that, so they can be able to plan their next period. So when they're going to school, they know that okay, they'll take their pads with them and all of that to school. I also taught them how to, take care of themselves during their period. They should not see it as something that is embarrassing or just like a natural process, because most of them feel very shy. I love the idea about the idea that Mrs. Olivia talked about dispensing pads. That's a very creative idea. I think that if that will work, it will be really amazing, because most of these girls don't know that their period is going to come today or tomorrow or whenever they are in school. So once they just come to school and they see their period, they are shy, and people start to some guys start to laugh and all of that. And during my sensitization or my education, I make sure that I'm not just talking to only girls. There are guys should be present in the room, because this is an inclusive conversation. So everybody should be involved. It's not just girls that should know about period poverty, because men would always have females in their life, maybe sisters, friends, cousins, and just relatives that are females. So they should also be aware of period poverty and menstrual hygiene. So that's one of the ways I'm trying to reach out to people, not just women, not just girls, but also men, because they have a role too to play in ending
Okay.
period poverty.
So if I may ask you a question,
Yeah.
how do people receive your message when you blog about menstruation, when you write about it? Because I think last month
Yeah.
on the Twitter page, someone posted and said, if you can buy a sanitary pad and gift any of your friends, or more, in the words of the person, you have done a girl child good, because the rate of the prices of sanitary pads is too high. And
Yeah.
immediately the person tweeted it, it went so viral, and everybody came out and was shouting, "Oh yes, it's true. Sanitary pads are expensive. Remember, I wonder how these girls in the villages can handle their period." Now
Yeah.
that how will I put it, tweeting alone caused a lot of uproar. But I realized that after a few weeks or so, it dies down. Like
Yeah.
yesterday was Menstrual Hygiene Day. We all know we're still celebrating it. And I was expecting the fact that we now all knew, because it was so everywhere on Twitter, blah, 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 that I will go to the Twitter wall and see Menstrual Hygiene Day trending, or period poverty trending, because it was not just it was, how will I put it, it was few weeks ago that someone tweeted about it. So I was expecting that it would be trending and all that, but it didn't trend yesterday. I had to refresh my Twitter wall. It was trending. So I want to know how your world, that's the social media world, how are they receiving your blogging on menstruation, poverty stuff, to come in and really disrupt this issue of period poverty. So let's
Yeah.
just please throw more light on how you're being received and the whole Twitter world stuff.
Okay. That's why I made emphasis on this particular subject is something that is an inclusive matter where everybody should get involved and everybody should talk about it, because in terms of reach, some people have wider and farther reach than some other people. So when people are so that's why many times when you see that particular tweet you saw on Twitter may not be the first tweet, or may not be the first tweet about the cost of sanitary pads and all of that. But one thing about things going viral is the person that is talking about it. That's why they have all these social media influencers and all of that. So this is a topic that and a problem that everybody has to get involved and use their voice to speak about it. No matter how much one person speaks about it, and maybe there's no shares, there's no conversation, it just dies down. But the thing that we have to do is that we cannot get discouraged. You just have to keep talking about it, keep talking and creating awareness and sensitizing people. And I just believe that with time and with constant sensitization, people would really join the conversation and remain in the conversation, because the truth is that because the social media world is filled with people that are, let's say, privileged to an extent, so people that are underprivileged, that don't really have access to these products, are not really online, so they don't really have a voice on social media. So it's we that we know about the issue. It's our responsibility to help sensitize people and also talk about this problem. Like, everybody should get involved, everybody should help, because we are the voice for them. And the more we keep talking about it, I believe that will drive attention, but it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time,
No,
it's going to require patience, and it's just something that we just have to take gradually, because this is a topic that, if you agree with me, when you tell people about end period poverty, they'll be like, what is period poverty? There are some
well, thank
there are some terms that
you.
they don't know. What is reusable pad? What is menstrual cup? What is this? What is that? The only thing they know is disposable pads. So it will take a while for it will take a while for people to get that exposure. And just like, cause me, when I even heard about reusable pads for the first time, it didn't sound right to me. And when I also heard about period poverty too, it didn't really make any sense. But now everybody around me knows that there's period poverty exists. There are things like period stigmas and taboos. They now know. So with those, by talking to people, starting from people around you, educating them and sensitizing them about what is going on and how we can solve this problem, or the ways that we feel that we can solve this problem, will go a long way with time. That's what I
Thank,
believe.
thank you very much. I'm super
Yeah.
grateful. Thank you for this exclusive. I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Miss Olivia, is she here? I think her stuff is muted. I doubt she can hear me. Okay, I don't know. She can hear, but if she comes up, I have a question for her. So, with me here, I have an amazing soul. His name is Peter. Peter Mandalisi. I don't know. A lot of time how would I put it? I pronounce his name so very in a very funny way. He's from the country Malawi. Yes, Peter is from Malawi. I also met Peter on the social media platform. He's the founder of 10 plus her period, her pride. When I first saw him on social media, I was like, a man advocating for period poverty. Wow. So it was like, I don't know, I was so country and I had to plug in immediately. I remember chatting him up and I was like sharing his words. I was like, I'm super proud of you because I least expected it. Hi, Peter. Good morning. Are we still in morning or we're in afternoon? Good
No,
afternoon.
we are in the afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Oh, Peter, nice having you here.
All right, thanks.
Today I want us to, because I really want us to compare this thing called period poverty between your country, Malawi, and my own country, Nigeria. But before we compare it, I would like you to first tell me about 10 plus. Tell me, let us know how you all started, what was the drive, and the response so far, statistics, and all that.
Can you come up again, because you are breaking quite a lot because of network?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I said before we compare period poverty between Nigeria and Malawi, I want you to first tell us how you started 10 plus her period, her pride in your country, Malawi, the response you've gotten so far, your advocacy, and if this period poverty thing, the end is coming in your country with statistics and all.
All right, my passionate about ending period poverty started when I started serving as a volunteer, Corps Africa volunteer in 2018. And during my volunteering service, I was deployed in a rural area. And during my volunteering service, I was also volunteering as a primary school teacher. And that's when I actually discovered that girls, they do miss crosses because of what? Lack of what? sanitary pads. But by then, I had no idea that they are also the usable sanitary pads. So I had no any other solution like to help those girls. Then later on, I also read on the internet that girls indeed they are missing crosses due to lack of what sanitary pads. And after like a few months, I also discovered that it's possible to make reusable sanitary pads. So I wanted to be teaching girls on how to make the sanitary pads, but unfortunately, I didn't have the resources and I didn't know how to make the pads. And come in 2020, that's when I applied for Women Deliver Young Leaders Program. And lucky enough, through the Women Deliver Young Leaders Program, we have got an opportunity to be applying for small grants. And I remember I joined in 2020. It was in June, that is. And it was around in October. That's when they released the first grant application. And because I already have had an idea concerning what training girls on how to make the pads, I decided to try my luck. And like enough, my grant was successful. And after that, that's when I started implementing my project known as 10 plus period pride. My project started, the actual implementation started in January this year, 2021. And up to this date, about 300 girls, they have benefited from
Wow.
my 400, that is girls, they have benefited from my project. We are training them on how to make reusable sanitary pads. And these girls, they are mostly the direct beneficiaries. They are from the Lulu and the same urban areas where mostly these are the girls who are what are facing challenges as far as period poverty is actually concerned. So apart from that, I've also been advocating for free distribution of sanitary pads among primary and secondary school girls, and also advocating for a tax-free on sanitary pads as one way of what ending period poverty among our girls. And as far as the advocacy campaign is concerned, I've managed to meet with two government officials and also about 22 community leaders as one way of engaging them in the advocacy campaign, since they are what like they act like they speak on the behalf of the what of our girls, the vulnerable girls. That is, they are like a mouthpiece that is of our girls. And in terms of how people they have welcomed my project and advocacy campaign, some they have welcomed the project and advocacy campaign with open hands. At the same time, you know, it's not everyone who can support you when you're advocating for something. Some people they are against about the whole thing. They think that maybe we are just the girls they are just making a lame excuse that they are missing crosses due to what lack of what pads. Yeah, and in terms of the statistics here in Malawi, it's about 30% of the girls who are missing classes due to lack of what sanitary pads, and these girls they miss classes for a period of about 5 days, which affect their performance in class. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Let
good. That's
yeah.
that's a very well idea. Now, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
I can hear you.
gender wise, you're a man. running something in the female world. How have people accepted you? Like how when you go to communicate with these young girls going through these issues, how do they accept you? Are they shy? Are they receptive? And all that.
Okay, when we are conducting the trainings, like maybe for the first 10 minutes, the girls they are shy, but after some few minutes, they open up and they see the whole thing as a what, as a normal thing, and this is why I'm being involved in this whole thing because I'm trying to send out a special message out there that. It's not only women who are supposed to be responsible in what ending pure poverty, but also men, they should also be involved. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good. So now, in my own country, like you heard one of the speakers say, Mrs. Olivia, she tried to bring out the statistics, like how young girls, especially, it's so much in the northern part of the country, but not just only the northern part of the country. We still have some visible parts in the south, the west, and the east, and all that. But we have a lot of people speaking up. Like you can come to the not just the social media page. You can see a lot of people in my country speaking up against period poverty, and I think it's beginning to gain light. So in your country, do you have? Because I trust me, I have also tried to find out if there are also other organizations in your country, and I'm still seeing it as if it's just you. Do you have other people coming in to speak about this period poverty in your country, and is it really gaining light or something?
Yeah, I can see improvement as far as ending pure poverty is concerned because this issue, it was sidelined, like it was overlooked, but now we are like getting there. A lot of people, they are now interested in this whole what topic. They are now starting to open up. They are no longer feeling shy about talking about menstruation in what openly, that is in public. So a lot of organizations and a lot of people, they are now joining in. They are changing the perception that menstruation is a what is a taboo. They are now seeing period as a what, as a normal natural process. Yeah.
Can you hear me, Peter?
Yeah, go ahead and ask.
Okay, so now we can basically say that your country is already welcoming the idea. I don't know. I think network is. Can you, can you hear me?
Yes, we can now hear you.
Okay. So I can basically say that now your country is also welcoming the idea of an end to period poverty, just the way my own country is welcoming an end to period poverty. It's funny how the United Nations and WASH gave an end to period poverty for 2030. So basically, what is your future plans going further for period poverty, to disrupt period like a hub where they get need of it. So, what is your own future? How do I put it? Plans to disrupt this period poverty in your country. What are your plans going forward from now?
Okay, it is my wish to for my country to my country, especially the Ministry of Education, to integrate menstrual hygiene with the what with the school curriculum. It's already there, but the information is not enough. There's just a little information in the school curriculum. I would like to see our girls, both boys and girls, learning on how to make reusable sanitary pads, on how to what, on how to make reusable sanitary pads. That is in school, and by doing so, it will be very easy to reach out to a lot of girls, and a lot of girls they'll be able to make reusable sanitary pads in their homes because they are learning the skills at school. Yeah, that's my wish.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for coming over, Peter. I really appreciate it. Something I wanted to really throw a question to Mrs. Olivia, but I don't know. I'm not seeing her up. I can't hear her. I don't know if she's up, Mrs. Olivia. I don't know if she's up or if she's still there. I wanted to throw a question to her, but right now I can see our time too. It's almost over. I don't know. She's muted. She's not up. But then again, I think maybe I'll throw this question. So at this point, our time is up, and I just want to say thank you to my speakers. Basically, I learned that there's something called from 2020 2030 as designed by the United Nations and WASH. One, we have to, like Mrs. Olivia is planning to do, get what I like to call that thing a hall, where the girls can pick up sanitary pads when basically needed at that particular time. I think that's one of the ways where period poverty is now being disrupted. Secondly, another way period poverty is being disrupted is to get practically everybody on the social media world, on the normal world, talk about period poverty. Tell the girl child, when you see a girl child having period issues, you can tell her, oh, this is okay, this is normal. Now, that is another way to which we can disrupt period poverty. And like Peter says, his own wish in his country to disrupt period poverty is to get the Ministry of Education talk more on period poverty. So that's still better. And in trust me, the name is in her own wish, Mandolin Winkler's own wish is to partner with bodies to through her own foundation and her own organization to work towards getting period poverty sorted in the downgrade part of Nigeria. So now we know that period poverty, everybody is coming out in different ways to solve this problem. And I still want to say thank you to my amazing speakers. I really learned a lot today. To those of you viewing on the YouTube pages, I want to the world. Yeah, okay. She still want. I have one of my speakers. She wants to say something.
I think the most important thing is that, and that is what I see everywhere in Africa, is a problem to speak about it. Yeah, we need to speak about it, and for that I thank Africunia, which is
oh yes,
Africunia TV, which is one of our legs that allow us or allow her organization to speak about it, and I think that is what is needed here. The same is right. People in Africa, they don't talk about it, and that is amazing. And thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, so we've heard from her. I still want to say thank you. Yes, basically because I used for this my first time using this media product known as Africunia. They've been one amazing body supporting this project to run forward. So I still want to say thank you to them. Thank you to the YouTube page. Thank you to my amazing speakers. I look forward to working with all of you. Like I tell me maybe I'll travel to the north because of her. I don't know where she went to, but I know she's supposed to be on another program. So thank you very much. And with that, we've come to an end of this webinar. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.